We're back with Chapter 2 of Blue Moose, written and illustrated by Manus Pinkwater. Chapter 2 is called Game Warden. There was a lot of talk in town about the moose at Mr. Bretton's restaurant. Some people who had never been before went to the restaurant just to see the moose. There was an article in the newspaper about the moose and how he talked to the customers and brought them their bowls of clam chowder and helped Mr. Bretton in the kitchen. Some people from other towns drove a long way with chains on their tires to Mr. Bretton's restaurant just to see the moose. Mr. Bretton was always very busy waiting on tables at lunchtime and supper time. Here's a long line of people waiting at Mr. Bretton's and Moose restaurant. The moose was always very polite to the people, but he made them feel a little uncomfortable too. He looked at people with only one eye at a time, and he was better than most of them at pronouncing French words. He knew what kind of wine to drink with clam chowder, and he knew which kind of wine to drink with the special beef stew. Some of the people in the town bragged that the moose was a friend of theirs and always gave them a table right away. When they came to the restaurant, they would pat the moose on the back and say, "Hello, Moose, you remember me, don't you?" "There will be a slight delay until the table is ready," the moose would say, and snort and shake himself. Mr. Bretton was very happy in the kitchen. There were pots of all sorts of good things steaming on the stove and smelling good, and bread baking in the oven from morning to night. Mr. Bretton loved to cook good things for lots of people, the more the better. He had never been so busy and happy in his life. One morning, Mr. Bobowitz, the game warden, came to the restaurant. "Mr. Bretton, are you aware of Section 5, Subheading 6, Paragraph 3 of the State Fish and Game Laws?" said Mr. Bobowitz. And here is Mr. Bobowitz. "No, I am not aware of Section 5, Subheading 6, Paragraph 3, Mr. Bretton said. "What is it all about?" "No person shall keep a moose as a pet, tie up a moose, keep a moose in a pen or barn, or parlor or bedroom, or any such enclosure," said Mr. Bobowitz. "In short, it is against the law to have a tame moose." "Oh my," said Mr. Bretton. "I don't want to do anything against the law, but I don't keep a moose. He just came along one day and has stayed ever since. He helps me run my restaurant." Mr. Bobowitz rubbed his chin. "And where is the aforesaid moose?" Mr. Bretton had given the moose one of the rooms upstairs, in which there was a particularly large bed. The moose just fit in the bed if he folded up his feet. He liked it very much. He said he never had a bed of his own. The moose slept on the bed under 6 blankets, and during the day he would go upstairs sometimes and stretch out on the bed and sigh with pleasure. We'll be back in a moment with the rest of this chapter.